Hello, good morning students. So this is our second session for history, class 6th, chapter 1, part 2. Okay, and the name of the chapter is what, where, how and when. I repeat again, this is the second session for history and class 6th. Our today's chapter is chapter 1, part 2. Name of the chapter is what, where, how and when. Okay. After this, let's take a look on the contents which we had covered in part 1 and about the contents which we are going to cover in part 2. So please note down the contents very carefully. Our today's contents are the contents which we had covered in part 1, where what can we know about the past? Okay. Where did people live? Names of the land. Okay. These were the three contents we had covered in part 1. Now for part 2, our contents will be finding out about the past, one past or many, and what do dates mean. In ancient times, there were dates, but they were named as BC, AD. Okay. What does these mean? We will see in this session. So these were the contents. Please note it down very carefully. Okay. And after this, we will have a quick revise on what we had learnt in part 1. Okay. After that, we will start part 2. Part 1, we had seen what can we know about the past. Means when we learn about history, the first thing which we try to know about, that is in ancient time, what did people used to eat, what kind of clothes they used to wear, and what type of houses they used to live in. We had seen this. We had also seen about the life of the people who were herders, hunters, farmers, merchants, etc. Right? The games which the children play, the story which they hear, we had seen all this. We had seen that the people in the ancient times first tried to settle themselves near the bank of the rivers or on the hills, right? Hills like Suleiman and Kirtar hills, which are in the northwest, Garo hills and Vindhyas mountains. Okay. People also try to settle themselves near the tributaries. Tributaries are the small rivers which flow into the large rivers. Okay. Then we had seen the names of the land. Names of the land means our country, India, is called by two names. One is India and other is Bharat. How did India get this name? India got the name India by the river Indus. And in Sanskrit, Indus means Sindhu. Okay. Then the name Bharat. Our country is also known as Bharat. Bharat in northwest means the group of people who live in northwest. Okay. And in Rig Veda it is also been mentioned. And so later our country was also called as Bharat. We had seen all these points in part 1. Now moving further, we will see and find out about the past. Now, knowing about how to find the past. Finding the past can be done in many ways, like reading books that were written long ago. There are several ways in finding about the past, finding about the history, from which one way is to read the books, okay, which were written long ago. And these books were known as manuscripts. Okay, and why were they known as manuscripts? Because they were written by hand. Because they were written by hand. And in olden days, in ancient times, there were no papers to write. Okay, there were no papers. Then how did people write? People wrote on the palm leaves. Palm is the name of a tree. Okay, and on the leaf of that tree, they used to write the manuscripts. Okay, or you can say on the bark of a tree. What is the bark of a tree? So, the bark is the outermost layer or stem of a woody plant. Okay, they used to use bark of a tree to write the manuscripts. And now what is manuscripts? In clear words, manu means hand and scripts means to write. Manu means hand and script means to write. So manuscripts means the script which were written with hand, and they were written on the bark of a tree or on the palm leaves. Okay. Now they were written specially on the bark of the tree, not every bark of the tree. They were written on the bark of a tree which was known as birch. B-I-R-C-H, birch. And this birch is found in the Himalayas. Okay, this birch is found in the Himalayas. Okay, now these books, which books? The manuscripts which were written. Okay, they were written in all the subjects. All the subjects means not the subjects which we read right now or today. Okay, they were written in the subjects like religious belief, okay, and life of the king, about any new medicines if they were invented, okay, about science. And besides that, they also wrote some epics. Epics means some stories, some poems and some plays as well. Okay, so these were the manuscripts which were written by hand, and they were written on the palm leaves or bark of a tree which was known as birch. Okay, and what were written in these manuscripts? Religious beliefs, practices, and about the life of the kings, about medicines and science also. Okay, now it was also seen that the manuscripts, they were written on the leaf or on the birch of the tree, they were eaten up by the insects or they got destroyed. So many times it used to happen that we lost many of the manuscripts because of this. Because they were not secure, they were not surviving long as they were written on the leaf or on the bark of a tree. So they were not surviving long. Okay, so now what to survive them? Now they were started to be preserving in the temples and monasteries. So they were kept in the temples or monasteries to survive. Okay, now what is a monastery? A monastery is a building occupied by a community of monks that live under the religious vows. Means like in that is in Buddhism. Okay, the Buddhism, the monks live in the monasteries. Okay, and what are monks? Monks are the religious member of the religious community of men. Monks are the member of the religious community of men. Okay, so these the manuscripts were preserved in the temples or the monasteries. Okay, now these manuscripts were most of written in Sanskrit or Prakrit language. Now Prakrit is a language used by the ordinary people in those days. Prakrit was the language which was used by the ordinary people in the ancient time. Okay, so this is the manuscript. Now let us see about the inscriptions. Okay, manuscripts and inscriptions both are different. Manuscripts were written on the palm leaf or bark of a tree, and inscriptions were written on hard surfaces like stone, metal, such kind of. Okay, now what were written on this manuscript, on this inscriptions? On the manuscripts we had seen, on the manuscripts religious belief, practices, life of the kings, medicines and science were written on the manuscripts. Now on inscriptions, what were written? On inscriptions they were written the order of the king. What was written on that? The kings got their order inscribed so that the people could see, read and obey them. So don't get confused guys, don't get confused children. What is manuscript and what is inscription? Okay, try to make the difference in that. Okay, inscriptions were written on the hard surface such as stone and metal. Okay, and what was written on the inscriptions? On inscriptions it was written the king's order were written on the inscriptions so that the people could see, read and obey them. Okay, and on the other kinds of inscriptions as well were men and women. Okay, what more did they use to write? Other than the king's order, what more was written? On the other kinds of inscriptions as well, where man and women recorded what they did. If they did some good thing, okay, some good deeds, if they had donated something or they had made a temple or a well, okay, so such kinds of things were written on the inscriptions. Even if any soldier had won the battle, victories, the record of victories in the battle, such kind of things were written on the inscriptions. Okay, so these were inscriptions and manuscripts. Now let me tell you the difference in both so you don't get confused. Okay, first difference, manuscripts were written on the palm leaf or bark of a tree, and inscriptions were written on the hard surfaces such as stone and metal. What was written on the manuscripts? On manuscripts there were all kinds of subjects like religious belief, practices, lives of the king, medicine and science. And what was written on the inscriptions? It were written the orders given by the king so that the people could read and see, and other than that they were also records of something like victories in the battle. Okay, so these were manuscripts and inscriptions. Okay, I'll show you how did this manuscript and inscriptions look like. Just have a look. In this I have shown you two pictures. One is manuscript, which is written on the bark of a tree, and below that is an inscription that is written on a hard surface. Okay, the kings used to inscribe their order on this so that the people could read and understand the order, see, read and obey them. And above that is the manuscript. In that manuscript it were written poems also, stories, religious beliefs and practices. Okay, so these were the manuscripts and inscriptions, which look how they used to look like. Have a look on that. Okay, the bark of a tree and one is on the stone. They were also written on the metals also. Okay. Now whatever we have, we come to know about the inscriptions, manuscripts, about some old things which we see in the historical museums. Did you ever try to know that how could we come to know about this? Who does this? Okay, I'll tell you. So how do you come to know about these ancient things? The one which you see in the historical museums. They are being searched by the archaeologists. An archaeologist is a person who studies the remains of buildings made of stone, brick, paintings and sculptures. Okay, they also explore and excavate. Excavate means dug out the things to find the tools, weapons which were used in ancient times. Pots, pans means what type of utensils were used in the ancient time. What type of ornaments were worn by the women in the ancient time. Okay, nowadays we wear the ornaments of gold and silver and imitations and all the things. But in olden days the ornaments were a bit different, not bit different but too much different from today's time. And coins, the one which we see in today's generation, the coins are of different metals. But in ancient times the coins were of either of silver or of gold. Okay, but they were not also of proper shape. So such kind of excavations or such kind of things were explored by the archaeologists. They also look for the bones of animals. Means how did we come to know that in olden days or in ancient times people used to hunt animal or people used to eat them? By the bones of the animals, birds and fishes. We came to know that what did the people in the past used to eat. So such kind of things are being searched by the archaeologists so that we come to know about the history, that how did the people in the ancient time used to live, what they used to eat, what they used to wear. Okay, and the things which were searched by the archaeologists, they were made of stones, some were made of bones also. Okay, some were made of metal and even of baked clay. Okay, the utensils, or you can say the weapons, the pen, the pots which were searched by the archaeologists, they were made up of these all things. Okay, and the objects which were being searched by the archaeologists, they survived long because of these hard things. The things which were made of hard metals, or you can say of hard substances, they survived long and still they are there when they were being excavated from the earth. Okay, Here I have shown you a picture of the archaeologists. How do they work and how do they look like? Okay. Now these are the archaeologists. Okay. So the things which were made up of hard substances survived long, but the plant remains. Plant remains means the things which were like plants or the grains or the pieces of wood, they were either burnt in the form of charred from. Charred from means to be burned in ashes, in the form of ash. Okay, when you burn something like paper or wood or something, the leftover of it, it's called the ash. Okay, so only the hard substances objects survived long, but the things which were like plants or grains, they survived more rarely. Okay, so these were the archaeologists. And now moving to the historians. Historians are the scholars who study about the past. Okay, often use the word source to refer the information from the manuscripts, inscriptions and archaeology. So who are the historians? Historians are the scholars who study about the past. And from where do they get these informations about the past? From the manuscripts, inscriptions and archaeology. Okay. Now once these sources are found, learning about the past, that becomes an adventure for them. Okay. Means searching about the new things. Okay, they get an interest to know more about it. Okay, so you can say that the historians and archaeologists are one type of detectives. Detectives means they go deep into the matter and search for us, who use all these sources for the clues and find out about the past. So historians and archaeologists can be called as detectives who use all the clues and find out about our past. So these are the archaeologists and the historians. Okay. Further, I am showing you two things. Some old silver coins and a pot. You know the pots of these days. What type of earthen pots do we use? Okay. And here I'll show you one old pot which was found from the old city and old silver coins. Okay. Let's have a look. I'm trying to show you the old excavation things. Okay. The archaeologists have searched. In the left side, you can see a picture of a pot. It was found from the old city. It was found from an old city. Okay. And from an old city. And these were used about 4,700 years ago. These type of pots were used 4,700 years ago. And in the right side, you can see two silver coins, two silver old coins. They were used from about 2,500 years ago. Okay. And you can see on that coin inscriptions are there. So these inscriptions were done by the king. If they won the battle or something like their pictures or their own pictures, they used to inscribe on these coins. So here there are two things. One is the pot which was used 4,700 years ago, and the second is the silver coin, old silver coins. Okay, they were used 2,500 years ago. Okay. Further, let's see about One past or many? What were they? Now, one past or many? Tell me one thing. Did you notice the title of this book? I had given you on the first page. When you must have seen the video, on the first page when I greeted you, on that page I have written our past, right? Our past. We have used the word past in plural to draw the attention to the fact that the pasts are different for different groups of people. Okay? One past or many. Our topic is one past or many. Means the past is different for different people. Every people did not have the same past. Okay? So to draw the attention, draw to attention means to put your attention on the things. The plural word past is being used. The fact that the past was different for different groups of people. Now, if I give you an example, for example, the lives of the herders and farmers were different from the life of the kings, queens, merchants and everyone. Okay. Now the life of the merchants were different from those of the craft persons, artisans and everyone. And even today, the people have different practices, different professions, different life and different customs in different part of the country. Today also it is the same as it was in the past. But why it has been given the name past? It has been given the name past to draw our attention that in past the lives of the people were different of all the groups of the different groups of the people. Okay? And even today people follow different practices and different customs in different part of the country. Okay? If we take the example of today, in olden times, in ancient times, we have taken the example like the life of farmers and hunterers were different from the life of king and queens. But today if we say that the people living in Andaman Islands get their own food from fishing, hunting and collecting forest products. And same if you see the people today living in the cities, they all get their supplies from the city itself. They don't have to go anywhere else. So in today's life also, the life of the people are different in the two different places. Okay? And same differences existed in the past. The people who used to live in the forest had a different life. The people who were farmer or hunters had a different life. And the people who were king and the queens, merchants, rich people, they had different life. Okay, so these were the past. That's why the book is given the name past, so that you can easily know about the life of the people. How were they? How did the people used to live the life and how different their life was. Okay? And besides this, the kings, when they used to won the battle, okay, they used to keep the records of that. Either they used to inscribe them on the stones, on the pillars or on the walls. Right? This is also one type of a difference. Okay. One type of a difference is the kings, they used to inscribe their victory of the battle on the walls or on the pillars. But same the ordinary people, they never used to keep any kind of records. And such peoples were who? They were the hunterers, they were the fishermen, they were the gatherers, farmers. They never used to keep any kind of records, whether they used to do any good things or any good deeds. Okay? But the archaeologists help us to find out about their lives also. The life of the kings and the queens and the rich persons can be seen by the inscriptions which are there. But what about the life of the ordinary people? The life of the ordinary people can be known by the remains. By the remains, what they used in the olden days. Okay, and that things are excavated by the archaeologists for us. So this is one past and many. This is one past and many, by which we can know the life of the people of different groups. Now, next we will see about the dates. Okay. Nowadays you have the calendar by which you can know the day, the month and the date. Easily. If I ask you what is today's date, you will say, ma'am, today is 10th of May 2020 and the day is Sunday. But what about the days in the olden times, in the ancient times? Let's see. Now the years which are being counted, from the date generally assigned from the birth of Jesus Christ. Whatever date we count, they are counted from the date to the birth of Jesus Christ. And who was Jesus Christ? Jesus Christ was the founder of Christianity. Jesus Christ was the founder of Christianity. Okay? So if you say that the year is 2020, so what does that mean? It means that 2020 years after the birth of Christ. Okay? How do we count? All the dates before the birth of Christ are counted backward. Okay? They are counted backward. Means if you say that it is 2020, now it is 2020. So it can be said as after the birth of Christ, 2020 years after the birth of Christ. Means all the dates before the birth of Christ are counted backward. Okay? And usually these words, usually we have the letters BC for that. That is before Christ. Means 2000 years before Christ. Okay? So this is how the dates are being counted by the birth of Christ. All the dates. Whatever the year is there, just count it backward. Okay? Backward, and use the word, usually two letters are being used, that is B and C. It means before Christ. Okay? More let us see about these dates. We will see more about these dates. How were they been calculated? BC stands for before Christ. Okay? And sometimes you will also see some dates written with AD. AD. What does that? What does these two Latin words means? AD. AD are the two letters. Now, what do these two letters mean? They means Anno Domini. They means Anno Domini. Anno Domini means in the year of the Lord. In the year when Lord Christ was born. Okay, BC means before Christ, before the birth of Christ. Okay, and Anno Domini means AD. AD means when Christ was born. Means if I say year 2012, it means AD. AD year 2012 means in the year 2012 Christ was born, that is AD 2012. So it can be easily understood that before, in the year when the Lord was born, okay, that is AD, and then the year. Sometimes you must have also seen the word CE, or you can say AD and BCE. So what is CE? CE means common era. Okay, and BCE means before common era. Okay, now why do we use these terms? We use these terms because the Christian era is now used in most of the countries in the world. Okay, common era or before common era, this is in Christian era. Christian era, these terms are used in the Christian era. And this Christian era is now used in most of the countries. Okay, and in India we began using this form of dating from about 200 years ago. Now, before 200 years ago we started using the term of Christian era. Okay, and one more term is being used nowadays, that is BP. And that is also used very sometimes, okay, not most of the times. And this BP means before present. What does this BP means? This BP means before present. Okay, now note down all the terms. What does the term BC mean? BC means before Christ. AD. AD means Anno Domini. It means in the year of the Lord. Okay, Anno Domini are the two Latin words, Latin, Latin words. Okay, Anno Domini means in the year of the Lord. Then comes CE. CE means common era. Okay, then comes BCE, that is before common era. Okay, next is BP, that is also used sometimes. Okay, this BP word is used sometimes. What does this BC means? BP means? BP means before present. Okay, now further let's see the inscriptions which I had told you. They were inscribed on hard surfaces, right? Now many of these inscribed several hundred years ago. Many of these inscribed several hundred years ago. Okay, now all inscriptions contained, what were there on the inscriptions? There were scripts and languages. Okay, and the languages which were used on these inscriptions, they were in the form of scripts and they changed time by time. Means the first inscription you can say was written in Sanskrit or Prakrit. Okay, then it was written in Tamil also. Then further it was written in many different languages like Greek, Egyptians, two types of languages. Such type of different languages were used to write these inscriptions. Okay, now as the languages were different, did you ever try to understand that how did this archaeologist or how did this scholars understand what has been inscribed on that? How did the scholars understand? Okay, this was done through a process which was known as decipherment. What was it known as? It was known as decipherment. Now what is decipherment? Decipherment means to discover the meaning of anything that is difficult to trace. What is decipherment? Decipherment means to discover the meaning of something that is difficult to trace. Okay. Now what did the scholars do? The inscriptions which were found by them, that were in different languages like Greek, or you can say Prakrit or Tamil or Sanskrit or such kind of. Okay. Now from this, many of the languages were not known by the archaeologists. Okay. So what did they used to do? They used to understand this by the decipherment. Okay. By the process through which they can understand the inscriptions very easily. One of the most famous stories of decipherment came from Egypt. That was also 5,000 years ago. Okay. And it was a country in North Africa, where there were kings and queens about 5,000 years ago. A decipherment was found, okay, with the famous stories about the kings and queens, okay, which were read by the archaeologists with the process of decipherment, and then they tell us about it. Okay. Now moving further, Rosetta. Rosetta is a place in north coast of Egypt. Here an inscribed stone was found, and that stone was inscribed in 3 different languages. Which were those 3 different languages? One was Greek and other was 2 Egyptian form of languages. An inscription was found in Rosetta town, which is in north coast of Egypt. Okay, in Rosetta, an inscription was found that was written on the stone. It was inscribed on the stone, and that inscription was inscribed in 3 different languages. One was in Greek, and the languages were Greek and 2 Egyptian languages. Okay. Now the scholars who could read Greek figured out the names of the kings and queens which were written on that. Okay. And such things are called cutout. Okay. And then they placed the Greek and Egyptian signs side to side. They kept this Egyptian signs side to side. Okay. How? I'll show you in the next picture. Just have a look. Now here it is. The inscription which were found by the scholars, or you can say by the archaeologists, they kept these inscriptions side to side. Okay. They kept these inscriptions side to side, and after that they read it. And here you can see the different languages in the form of the pictures and all. The languages which were used as well as script changed time to time. Okay. All inscriptions contain both scripts and languages. Means the inscriptions which were there had both all the languages included. Either they could be in 3 languages, either they could be in 2 languages. Just have a look on this picture. Okay. Now how did the scholars read this? Let's see. The scholars used to read these pictures, how they kept these pictures, both the pictures side to side. Okay. And then they identified the sounds for which the Egyptians' letters stood. You must have seen in the picture. There was a picture of lion. There was a picture of bird. Okay. Now the letters which were written below these pictures, they used to identify by the Egyptian letters. Means L stood for lion. A stood for bird. Okay. And this how they try to identify. Once they knew what the letters stood for, they could read the other inscriptions as well. Means once when they started identifying the letters, knowing the letters, it was easy for them to know about the inscriptions, to read the inscriptions and tell us about it, that what was written on the inscriptions and it was about whom. Okay, so what did the scholars do to read the inscriptions? They placed the Greek and Egyptian signs side by side, okay, and identified the sounds for which the Egyptian letters stood. Okay, for examples, that if there was a picture of lion, they used to read the letter below it. If there was a picture of bird, they used to read the letter of it. Okay, and once they knew what the letters stood for, they could read other inscriptions very easily. So this is how the inscriptions were read by the scholars. Okay, here we come to an end of the chapter. I hope you must have understood what, where, when and how was our past. Okay, where did the people used to live, what did they used to eat, how they lived their life, okay, and why are there more than one past? Because the people, the life of the people are different in all the times, whether it is the present time or whether it is the past time. All the people have different lives. Okay, further we are moving to the vocabulary, that is the hard words and the meanings which we have gone through this chapter while learning. Let's have a look. Now moving to the vocabulary. Our today's first word is detectives. Now, what are detectives? A person, especially a police officer, whose occupation is to investigate and solve crimes. But here in our chapter, detectives were the archaeologists and the historians who, with the help of the clue, try to know more about the history. Okay, but here we are only trying to explain you what detectives are. The detectives are the person who investigate and solve the problems. Okay, further, archaeology. Second word is archaeology. The study of human history and prehistory through the excavation of sites and analysis of artifacts and other physical remains. Means the study of human history or prehistory is called archaeology. But in this there are been excavation. Excavation means the digging of the earth is being done on the sites and some new things are being searched. Excavate. Next word. Excavate means remove earth carefully from in order to buried remains. Find buried remains. To find the buried things from the earth is called as excavate. Remove earth carefully from an area in order to find buried remains. Next is epics. Epics is one type of a book, you can say, a long book which contains poems, stories over a long period of time and tells us about the great events. Okay, what is epics? Epics is a long book. Either it can contain poems, it can contain a story of a film or a king or a queen, anything over a long period of time, and the epic also tells us about the great events. Scholars. Now what are scholars? Scholars are the specialists in a particular branch of study, especially the humanities. They are the specialists of some particular branch. They can be anyone. Scholar in science, scholar in English, scholar in physics. They can be in anything. So what is a scholar? A scholar is a specialist in a particular branch of study, especially the humanities. So these are our today's words meanings. I repeat all the words again. Detectives, archaeology, excavate, epics, scholars. That's all. So please note it down so that we can move to the word meanings. After word meanings, we can move to the exercise. So our today's first question for the exercise, what is a manuscript? What is manuscript? What did I tell you? You can write it in the form of the answer. Manuscripts are handwritten records in the past and are in the form of books. Okay? Manuscripts are handwritten records and are in the form of books. Got it? Next question. Name the leaf on which the manuscripts are written. On which leaves were the manuscripts written? They were written on the palm leaves. Note down all the answers. Okay. What are manuscripts? Manuscripts are the handwritten records of the past and they are in the form of books. Next question. Name the leaf on which the manuscripts are written. They are written on the palm leaves. Okay. Next is, what are inscriptions? Next question is, what are inscriptions? What are inscriptions? Inscriptions are the writings that are engraved on the stones or are etched on the metals in ancient times. I repeat again. Inscriptions are the writings that are engraved on stones or are etched on metals in ancient times. Okay. Next. Who are archaeologists? Who are archaeologists? Archaeologists are the scientists who study people and culture. Who are archaeologists? Archaeologists are the scientists who study people and culture. Next, who was the founder of Christianity? Who was the founder of Christianity? The founder of Christianity? Lord Jesus Christ. Okay? Founder of Christianity, Lord Jesus Christ. Next, what is the full form of AD and BC? While telling you about the dates, I had told you about all CE, BCE, AD, BC, BP. From that, what is the full form of AD and BC? The full form of AD is Anno Domini and the full form of BC is before Christ. Okay? Where is Rosetta located? Our today's last question. Where is Rosetta located? Rosetta is a town on the north coast of Egypt. Rosetta is a town in the north coast of Egypt. I hope you have noted down all the question and answers and word meanings. So, learn whatever you have written it. Please learn it by heart and be prepared with your studies. Till then, take care of your health and